Some time has passed since my last post. Small recap. Wife moved out a while ago. In the meanwhile met and had sexual contact with other men. Due to new findings, childhood trauma, for which she now wants to go to therapy. Not sure if she actually doing it. I was not sure whether I should have hope or not. I have since tried to keep the contact to a minimum and only discuss things that concern the children. This has worked more or less well. We still had a lot of contact, especially because of the upcoming birthday of one of our children. I felt better, but of course still had many bad thoughts about what she does or doesn't do in regards with men. During the last conversation, she assured me that she will not meet any other men anymore, because she doesn't want to and she has to find out what she really wants first. I was sure that she does it anyway, but had no proof. Then was the birthday of my child. We were together with the family. She was of course also present. For me it was super weird. I felt really uncomfortable as she does one on happy life and speaking like a friend to me, while everything is broken. I also felt that something was weird. The kid's birthday party was planned for the day after. I called her in the morning and told her I thought it would be better if she didn't come. The kids were with me that day anyway. I explained why, but she insisted on coming. The party was going well. Kids had fun and all, but I couldn't resist and then it happened. I couldn't stand it. I checked her cell phone and read the messages that she was of course seeing one or two men and that they were also coming to her house and spending the night. I must say that I mentioned several times that I didn't want my children to sleep in the same bed where she was doing things with men. She agreed with me and said she didn't want that either. In an angry reaction, I told her to leave the party. When she asked why, I told her that I had read her messages. After that it escalated a bit. She was angry because I have disregarded her privacy. I did not care. I told her how she can be so dishonest and she should leave. Told her that I never want to see her again. She tried to justify herself with sentences like I tried not to see him again, but I'm only human and weak and blah blah blah. It got a bit ugly in the conversation, but then she left. Later I got a message where she admitted to sleep with men and that she will continue to meet with the one. She said she doesn't give a shit about me now and she doesn't care about my feelings anymore. She said how great the sex is and that she has orgasms. She literally wrote that. She also wants to report me for violating her privacy. She thinks I hacked her phone or installed some software, but I still had a fingerprint registered and said I provoked her. For me, this was the final line. I now have an appointment with the lawyer and will file for divorce. But what takes me hard is the sentence about the sex. I realize that she wrote that out of anger to hurt me, but it still knocked my confidence. Our sex life was always okay, but nothing special. I was her first and she was always rather reserved to discover her own sexual passion. Had also mentioned earlier that she liked her experience. I am also afraid that now it will come to an ugly divorce and it will be more of a rose war. Also regarding the children and the fact that they will eventually see their mother with another man. I had a conversation yesterday with my daughter close to 10 who doesn't want to be with her mother because she feels uncomfortable there. She was sad because she wants her mother to move back in. I tried to explain to her why that is not going to happen. I told her that it has nothing to do with the children, that mom still loves her and that I love her more than anything and will always be there for her. I am not sure how much I can tell my daughter. Something like that she is dating other men I think is rather wrong to say. I'm also really scared about the future and how I will feel, how my kids will be, how long it will take me to get over my wife, etc. I'm also not sure what to expect from the post. Probably I just need some encouraging words about the 4 paragraphs. Ex came back after failed rebound. My 28 male 31 female dumper initially ended our 5 relationship for reasons which were all bullshit last year. In reality, she lost attraction and just wanted to end it. P.S. This is always what it is if there are no bigger problems like cheating or abuse. It hurts, I know, but every reason they give for leaving is just to rationalize their choice in their own minds because it makes no sense to leave a relationship that outwardly has no major issues. After the breakup, we took a month's hiatus to figure out how we both feel and then after that, agreed to try to reconcile slowly. We weren't official. And since we were in different countries, this meant that it was over the phone. We were in contact and it was going well until she suddenly cut contact 2 months ago and ghosted me. In my mind, this was the nail in the coffin for any potential relationship. I'd given it my last effort and had been disrespected for the second time. It was time to finally accept it was over and move on. Note I've been seeing 7-8 different women during this 10-month time period, and was really enjoying things that I never had in my relationship. Frequent sex, we were LDR, cooking for me, buying me things, sending me breakfast in the morning, taking me on trips, etc. I was always a bit of an introvert, so I was never the type to accept this kind of attention. but I realized exactly what I was missing out on by doing this, and am intending on getting serious with the one I really like. After a few weeks of NC, I get a random message from her saying she was in town and would like to see me if I'd like to meet up. I gave in and reluctantly met up with her, and we spend a few days together talking, rekindling, and when I ask why we stopped talking, she admits to me that she had tried another relationship but it didn't work out. Exactly what I assumed. Of course, I knew details about this from other people, but I just wanted to gauge how honest she was being. It was a short thing that she realized wouldn't go anywhere, basically got pumped and dumped, and then she decided to go back to her safety net me. She started asking about how my views on certain things changed, i.e. the apparently inconsolable reasons why we ended, as if I was the one who needed to audition, which just showed how confident she is that she can get me back at any point. Meanwhile, showing no effort in making changes which I needed from her. We talked a bit more and then I unloaded everything that I had on her all at once. It wasn't pretty and ended up with her crying and asking what I wanted with her now. The more she talked, the more disconnected I felt from this person. She wanted to hug me, but I could barely bring myself to touch her. One of the biggest problems and why I lost so much respect for her in this short time was her way of romanticizing everything that happened. What I mean is, some people do that thing where they can't openly admit something as they have a difficult time accepting guilt and blame, so they have this roundabout way of explaining and thereby rationalizing it. When Jada Pinkett Smith Winch doesn't outwardly refer to her cheating as cheating, but an entanglement, softening the nature of what she did, and also deflecting all personal accountability, writing it off as reactionary. I was devastated when she decided to break up last year and tried my best to reconcile, only to have her pull the rug from under my feet again. And now she can't even own up to what she did. I want nothing with her anymore. This is not the person who I met and fell for. The last thing she said is that she would give me space to decide what to do, which was the first thing she said that made me think she finally understood the seriousness of what she had done. She was no longer dictating her own terms. When she left, I could tell she was destroyed, which is obviously not what I wanted, but I couldn't care less for a person who wasn't there for me when I felt like that twice. I slept well that night.